Hello, I'm Holly Henn, the President and CEO of Critical Business Analysis. I've worked in the construction industry my whole life and moved into the project management software consulting industry.
I'm Curtis Calloway. I'm a senior trainer and consultant at CBA, and I've been doing this for about 27 years, training and implementing.
So today, we're going to talk about how to best choose the scheduling software, what some of the differences are between the mainstream scheduling software that's available on the market. Curtis, I'd like your opinion on what you think are the major differences between some of the main software programs that you see out there for scheduling.
Absolutely. So first, I like to break it down into how it's going to be set up at your organization. And that usually breaks roughly down into two categories. One, we have self-hosted or installed literally on an individual computer, or if it's a server-based software like P6 or other softwares, you can self-host that, meaning you're going to have it on a server at your company. You will install the software on your database, host everything, and responsible for all the infrastructure, the technical side of that, and getting access to all your different users. That's option one. Option two is a SaaS or a cloud-based software where someone else is hosting it, whether that's Oracle or a third-party company, where they can actually host the software, and your only job is to make sure your users have a hyperlink to that particular website. And at that point, all the technical aspects of it, all the hosting is done by somebody else, all the data is stored there, and your only job is to use the software. So those are the two big categories we see of general project management software out there. A more detailed as to what kind of project management software I should use. Is it P6? Is it Monday? Is it some other software out there? Those break down, in my opinion, to also two big categories. Generally, a robust project management software, which I obviously consider P6 to be, is something that's going to not only allow you to build and manage the project with dates, but also be able to show you the true updating process. And one of the features that Oracle has is the data date. It's the as of date. And this feature alone is what I think makes Primavera products unique. Not better, just different than other softwares out there. And that allows you to show, as of this point in time, this is where our project is. And allows you to give a live update as of whatever time that you need to, and have a idea of where that project is. Versus other softwares out there, not worse, just different methodologies of updating, where you can update anytime, you can have actual activities in the future. So this activity actually started 2 weeks from now, which seems silly, but there are softwares out there that allow you to do that. And I'm sure there's reasons for it, but those are the two general philosophies that you need to think about. How do we want to have our project management software track our project? I know everything that's happened as of this day, or I'm just guessing at stuff out there. That's what the plan's for. The plan is what's in the future. Actual is what happened last week. And those are the two, I think, real big categories out there when you're looking for a software. Does it allow me to do actual true updating, or is it really just a task list?
The other thing that I've noticed with scheduling software programs on the market is, yes, the basics are the same. Every scheduling software has logic that you have to put into it, right? You have to tie it to something that starts and something that finishes, and you get these dates spit out, but the controls within that software program are not nearly as robust as what you find in P6 or OPC. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to use the word hard logic. That's not the right word to use, right? Because there is hard logic in P6. But what I mean by that is, when you put logic into P6 and you change durations, change one of the predecessors or successors, you move things around as you're updating, P6 is going to send you warnings and reminders when you're breaking the rules of that logic that you have previously set up. I don't find that in a whole lot of other software programs out there, and that, along with being able to lock in your data date, I think is really why P6 at OPC is the industry standard, because those are the most important things that you're going to record should you ever have to go back for court reasons or just record reasons, baselines, polling information that are set and locked in place.
Yeah, I'll circle back to something you said. I think that's a great point about the robustness of the reporting. So many times owner will require that you meet certain scheduling philosophies or statistics or deadlines or milestones rather. And one of those within P6 is the schedule health report. It will actually be able to tell you, do you have open-ended activities? Do you have things that are breaking what the PMI, Project Management Institute, dictate as bad project management processes? And our software can help you do that. And that's what you want out of a robust project management software. Not just give you the dates, like Holly explained, but also to tell you that you've broken a rule or that you have something you need to consider because someone else may not actually accept that schedule as it is. Love it.
And the ease of use, yes, it's a program that takes training to learn. It's not something you're just going to sit down and figure out on your own. For most people, some people can. But once you know how to use it, it is very simple to use. It's very quick. It will save you a lot of time. And that is also something that I see as a deficit in some of the other scheduling software programs that are out there, or that maybe they're sold as part of a package with a different project management information system where you get this scheduling module or you get a scheduling function in that program. They're never as robust or as easy to use or as simple to update and maintain as P6 or OPC, at least from what I've seen. What have you seen?
Yeah, so it is more complicated, but once you have the process down and you've been through that initial training, the actual updating of a Primavera product, whether it's P6 or OPC, is very simplistic with the power at the end of the day of showing you where your project has slipped. I agree with that.
What are the decision drivers that you should consider when you're looking at P6 versus OPC versus, let's say, MSP, Microsoft Project?
All three are great softwares. I've used all three. Both P6 and OPC are extremely similar, so I'll kind of lump them in the same thing with some difference we'll talk about it in a second. The reason you're going to use a Primavera product, in my opinion, the number one reason that separates it from other softwares is the data date and the updating functionality of the software. Both can give you a CPM schedule with date, with relationships driving dates, but P6's updating process with that data date allows me, or Primavera rather, allows me to be able to understand, as of this point in time, where is the schedule? And it will automatically move activities that have not started that we're supposed to, because if it didn't start last week, it can't possibly have a planned start date of last week. It either actually started last week or it's going to start sometime in the future. And that's what you don't get with so many other project management softwares out there. And it's by design. It's fine. It's just their philosophy is a little bit different than Primavera's. And I think that's the number one reason why my clients go there. Obviously, they're being asked by an owner. It's industry standard. But once they understand that functionality and how powerful it is, that's why people stay and continue using the Primavera products. P6 versus OPC, while they are both 90% the same software, the biggest difference goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of this session is OPC is an Oracle hosted software. It's actually hosted by Oracle. If you go the OPC route, you still get the data date, all the Primavera functionality that you're used to seeing in P6. You're not having to worry about any of the hosting functionality. You are literally logging into a website. All your users are doing that. Everything is hosted and maintained and saved and updated by Oracle. P6 gives you the same functionality, except that it's going to be hosted either internally by yourself, or you could hire a third-party company to host that, but it's still something that you've purchased, you manage the license and the users and all of that, and it's usually on your own internal server or even standalone. We've seen companies where they'll just put it on Bob's laptop and he doesn't have to have internet access. He just uses it on his laptop by himself.
In order to add to that conversation, what I have seen is a lot of companies will start out using MSP, which is a good scheduling product. It is going to get you there. It's going to produce a schedule that you can use. You can manage the schedule. It's relatively simple to learn, and they get to a certain step in their growth as a company where their projects are becoming larger and more complex, and that's when they're kind of growing out of MSP and the functionality that can provide. So I see that step being made. I see that step being made by organizations where they need something that has a more robust function to it to be able to track all the complexities of the jobs that they're starting to do are the resources that they need to manage and the reporting that they either want to see internally or they're being required to produce based on those projects.
Agreed.
One of the other things to consider when you're looking at scheduling software is how easy is it for you to use? Do you already have a program that came in with a different software that was purchased by the company that you're using? Is it easy to use? Does it function the way you want it to? Does it have logic that is easily manipulated? Can you put all your resources in it? Does it hold all of the data from all of the projects that you need to look at as an organization? If the answer to those questions is no, then that is when you should go look at P6 or OPC and really evaluate it. Sit down with somebody like Curtis or Cam to decide if that is going to work for your organization.